Hello, all, and welcome back to my last podcast ever. Yes, I am a senior in high school, and I will be graduating in a couple of weeks. And I will be attending Kane University, and I just want to say thank you for listening to my last podcast. It has been an honor to be able to research everything that I now know about the teacher shortage and how students, teachers, and everybody think about the teacher shortage or what they disagree on. So it's been really nice with this investigative journalism research project that I've been doing, and I can't wait for you guys to hear it. So here we go. So I'm here with
Mr. Gervasio.
So what do you think the solution to the teacher shortage should be?
I think you have to incentivize the job a little bit more. Teaching has become such a multi-dimensional field where, a lot of times you get people of high intellect who want to get into teaching to share their knowledge or to demonstrate learning and growth. Other people who get into teaching for the personable traits, making those connections with students or, the people they work with. But I don't think either side presents the completeness of the position. You have to be kind of quick on your feet. It's a difficult role to play, especially as we continue down the path we're on. So incentivizing the job, I think, would look more not just towards like a pay or an hours thing, but I think there's got to be a reason. There's got to be a passion for it, and then there has to be the acknowledgement for what you do instead of more of an attack on education and where it's falling short. We need to talk about what we're doing right as opposed to what we're doing wrong, and use the example and the precedents we've set in the past.
Thank you, Mr. G. So I'm here with
Joe Fragale.
So what do you think the solution to the teacher shortage should be?
I think we have to raise their wages.
Why is that?
I feel like a big problem nowadays is teachers aren't getting paid as much, and so people don't want to become teachers because it is a lot of work, and it's hard work too. So I think if we pay them more, I think the people will be more enticed to become teachers.
Do you think that their lack of pay affects their workload or even their passion to be teaching?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's a giant workload. It's not going to stop. Teachers going to have to teach the kids, but it's like they're not getting paid enough. Like, if you're not going to get paid enough, you're not going to want to work. So, yeah, it definitely affects that.
Okay, thank you.
Yep.
I'm here with
Emma Palumbit.
So what do you think the solution to the teacher shortage should be?
Definitely the better benefits. Contracts should be better. The union, definitely. Maybe have them trained a bit better, especially when dealing with kids, because there's just so many problems with the kids specifically, that I feel that teachers should have a bit more training so that they can deal with it and not be as stressed out, because I feel that that's kind of a cause as to why they're leaving.
And what ways do you think our teachers should be trained in, or what category should they be trained in?
Definitely a lot of psychology. I feel that there should be a psychology requirement. But other than that, I feel maybe during staff meetings or something like that, they can go through ways to help maintain safety and peace in the classroom and not have kids fighting with each other 24/7.
Thank you, Emma. So I'm here with
Cal Finley.
What do you think the solution to the teacher shortage should be?
I think there should be more teachers.
Can you elaborate on why you think there should be more teachers and how there could be more teachers?
I think better benefits, more pay, better unions, all could help the crisis. Also, having less mean kids in school definitely help.
What do you mean mean kids in school?
I think the toxic environment makes teachers not want to work there.
Do you think it burns out our teachers when students become erratic or rowdy?
Absolutely.
All right, thank you for your time, Cal Finley.
Anytime.
All right, so I'm here with
Kendra Sperano.
So what do you think the solution to the teacher shortage should be?
I think that the test to be certified to become a teacher should be a bit easier because I know there's a lot of teachers who struggle just passing that test. And if the test is easier, then we could get more teachers into schools.
What do you think should be easier on the test, or what certain requirements should teachers have to become a teacher?
I think as long as they have like observation hours in a classroom and like work with a teacher already, I think that already should give them a head up over other people.
Okay, thank you. All right, so I'm here with
Angel Delgado.
So what do you think a solution to the teacher shortage should be?
I believe a solution could be giving benefits to teachers. A lot of the things as a teacher, going into it, you're not going to get paid as much. Your set of hours. It's kind of hard to get overtime or get summer jobs that pay well. So having benefits such as medical care, knowing how many hours you have to work, especially over the summer, because it gets very dicey when you have to do professional development, extended school hours. Yeah.
All right, thank you. All right, so I'm here with
Delaney Scalera.
So what do you think a solution should be to the teacher shortage?
A solution is giving back teachers the right to their health care with better prices, minimizing the age back to the normal 55 or even 50 for their pension, kind of giving them more benefits that they used to have that they don't have anymore, and honestly giving them a little bit of a raise because teachers are the ones that teach the next generations. They are the ones that are really doing everything.
Yeah, I agree. They really do educate future generations, especially first responders, policemen, firemen, doctors, the president. Like, they inspire everybody. So they should definitely be getting a raise or a bonus when they first start teaching with whatever school they go into. So I 100% agree. Is there anything you'd like to add on?
No, that's all.
Okay, thank you, Delaney. So I'm here with
Mr. Fashina.
So what do you think a solution to the teacher shortage should be?
So one of the solutions is you got to kind of start the pipeline as soon as possible. Whenever people get into the education world, they don't necessarily stay there either, right? So even when there wasn't a teacher shortage, everybody that was going into education wasn't necessarily sticking it out to the end, because once you get into something, you might realize you don't really like what you're getting into at that time. So trying to increase the pipeline as much as possible. And one of the things that we're doing here at Roxbury High School is the Tomorrow's Teachers class in order to get more kids excited about education. Getting them more excited about education at a younger age betters our chances of them staying in the education world longer and giving us more teachers to select from when they get out of college.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, he has more to add.
So the state in years past had actually made it a little bit more difficult for students to get their education certification coming out of college with things like what the heck's it called? EdTPA process, which is a very expensive and cumbersome process. It doesn't really demonstrate as much as we think it does. We're glad to see that that's been dissolved, which is a hope to get more people involved. I don't want to make it too easy for people to get their education cert, but definitely make it easier than it already is.
Yeah, and that's the first step.
Yeah, so that's a big thing, and to be very honest, in the public's eyes with days of social media, it's not a well-renowned occupation as it once was because of the public image, but it's the greatest occupation in the world for all I care. And we have some really dedicated teachers here, and it's just amazing to see what they do every day, day in, day out, the energy they put in. Like, this is not just a hobby or even an occupation. It really becomes a life and becomes part of your life and what you do.
I agree. Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so it is coming to an end for my podcast unit in this investigative journalism research about the teacher shortage, and I would like to be the last person to be interviewed, so I'm going to be interviewing myself. So a solution that I think will definitely help our teachers now and in the future is 100% giving them their benefits back and 100% giving them bringing down the age for their pension and making it easier for them to retire and not having as many burnt out teachers. And we can do this by bettering our working conditions. We need to have a school and a classroom that fits the size of the class. We cannot have 30 kids in a small classroom that barely could fit 15. That just does not work with the teacher. It does not give the teacher in charge of the classroom the amount of space that she will be able to work with. As a result of bad working conditions, it can develop into heavier workload, such as not grading as many papers as they usually do because of the workspace that they're in or the environment that they're in. I also believe that a good environment and coworkers and staff and administration is also a key factor in what makes teachers leave or stay. Because if myself was working in a workplace where I did not feel respected, did not feel trusted, or even inspired by the teachers around me, it wouldn't work with me. I wouldn't be able to work. I wouldn't be able to teach what I love to do, which would be my passion in the future, hopefully. And I also think we need to reestablish how good of an occupation teaching is. Just like in other interviews that I have gone through and other articles that I've written, teachers are the ones who inspire future generations. They help and work with people who become policemen, firemen, doctors, the president, and even other educators. And I believe this is probably the main key factor. It's just all around respect for our teachers. I have seen instances at not only my school but other schools of students disrespecting their teachers, and not even their main teacher, could be their substitute teacher. But even if it is a substitute teacher, I do not believe that their respect should be less than what it should be. I believe that all students should treat their teacher with respect, no matter how they look, how they're doing in that class, if they're new, old, it does not matter. I believe that all teachers should be treated with respect. They should be given a great working condition, and their staff and administration should treat them as family. So this is the end of my podcast. I wanted to thank you all for listening to my journey from being a sophomore doing these podcasts with all of my friends to me now being a senior graduating in a couple weeks doing this podcast. It's really sad to see this podcast leave, and I know I'm not doing it with my girl Delaney on our usual Athletes on the Go podcast, but it is a really great opportunity for me to express my own passion through this podcast and through with the audience, whoever listens to this. So I want to give a big thanks to whoever decides to listen to this, and I want to say good luck with whatever journey you're on, and to also always remember where you came from.